Well, again, okay, here in this video, I've been talking about this subject for a long time now, okay? When it comes to marriages, the dating scene, etc., okay? Well, I've said it before, people don't know what love is. It's been proven over and over and over and over and over and over again. All you got to do is look around you at the divorce rate, okay? All you got to do is look around you at the couples that are no longer together, okay? And why they're not together? Well, most of the reason people ain't together in today's society, most of that reason is because, well, his dick had to be hard before he would date her. That's right. But then he didn't have no say-so, did he? That's right. Even if his dick was hard, he couldn't date her. That's right. Because her hole had to be dripping wet before she'd give him the time of day. If she wasn't have a wet hole and dripping on the floor already because she was that horny just looking at him in lust, she'd stereotype him out in 1 to 5 seconds. Isn't that the way it really works? Because you're all going by lust. That's right. In today's society, and then there's another reason that a guy will get a woman. That's right. It's called greed. That's right. It's called stats, fame, money, etc., etc., etc. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, when you have children and you're with somebody and you get married to them, I do agree that child support should be there, especially since the parents didn't know what the fuck they were doing to begin with, because that's why they're not together, because they didn't love each other to begin with, because they couldn't love each other, because they were in lust with each other. And normally when you're in lust with each other, things don't work out. That's right. Or she was chasing a bad boy. That's right. And then she's going to complain about the way she was treated by him, but she won't look in the mirror to see how she treated him, because the one thing that you can't get around, no matter how you do it, it takes two people to fight. That's right. It takes two people to fight, not just one. It takes two. Have you ever heard of anybody getting a fight with somebody that's not willing to fight? No. Because it always takes two people to fight, regardless. Okay? But just the same, here's where greed steps in. Because I agree with child support. Without a doubt, I do agree with child support. But this gal here, she basically proved why she married the guy. She don't even know she's proving why she married the guy to begin with. And why can I say that? I can say that legitimately when you watch this news report you're about to see. She's done told on herself. She married this guy for his money. And of course, that's why it didn't work out. And you'll hear her make the statement about, okay, she loves her kids. Her kids. Her kids mean the world to her. That's right, her kids. So you mean they're not his? Well, if they're not his kids, why do you want child support from him? Oh, I know. You're going to say because you divorced him for whatever reason. Maybe because what? You married him because what? His money? He wasn't in lust. When he made your hoe wet. That's right. He had good money. He met your shit test. He met your high expectations list. So then you married him. But then he didn't bend over and kiss your fucking ass and be your slave like you demanded him to. And now you're not together no more? Isn't that what really happened? More than likely, that's what happened here. Okay, or he decided he could be the control freak, because there's always somebody that thinks they have to wear the pants. That's right. There's always somebody that wants to be a control freak over the other person, whether it's him or her. That's right. When that's not love. Love has nothing to do with telling the person you supposedly love what they can and can't do. But here's a situation where she's done told on herself. Okay, this is how she's told on herself. He's working. That's right. He's paying his child support. That's right. He's paying his child support. No, he's not the deadbeat father. He's paying his child support. But see, he's chose to opt out on the overtime. See, he's doing the overtime, but he's not collecting the money for the overtime because he realizes that when he collects all this extra money in overtime, that she's taking it. That's right. She's taking it. He's already paying the child support, but whenever he gets overtime and gets overtime pay, she gets the majority of his overtime pay as well. So he's chose to do overtime and opt out of the overtime pay itself. Okay? And so what does she do? She's throwing a fit. She's moaning and crying. Okay, she's collecting the child support, but because she can't collect every last freaking penny of anything he makes. Because she don't care if he lives in a cardboard box. Because she don't care if he don't have any money to live for himself. Because it's not about him. It's about her. She's going to say it's about the kids. No, it's not. He's paying his child support because he chooses overtime and you want his overtime money. And that's why he's chose to opt out of the overtime money himself, is because when he does overtime, you're right there with your hands out taking it from him. Well, there you go. Just like with Hulk Hogan. Look what his wife did. What, 40 grand a week? That's right. She thought she needed 40 grand a week. What has our society done? They've taught women, that's right, they taught women that guys owe them. That's right. That they have nothing to, they don't have to do nothing. I mean, they don't have to do nothing in the dating scene at all. They just sit there and take the pick. They have to do nothing at all. The guy has to do it all, or he has nobody, right? And she has to do absolutely nada. Now here she is. Now here she is whining and crying because he's paying his child support. No, it's because he's getting overtime. He's opted out of collecting the overtime pay so that she can't steal it from him, because she's stealing it from him because she's greedy, because that's probably why she married him to begin with, was for his money. And of course, probably because he didn't kiss her ass and do exactly what she ordered him to do, she's not with him no more. That's right. More than likely, that's the real reason. But regardless of what the reason is, she's showing one thing. She's showing without a reasonable doubt. It's all about putting money in her pocket. She thinks he owes her a living. That's right. She thinks because she has a hole in boobs that he owes her a living, because her children is her world. Her children is her world. Like as if the children ain't his too. Like as if he don't love his own children. What do you want to bet she's also controlling when he sees his kids, or if he sees his kids? What do you want to bet she'll be the one to say, well, he don't see his kids, but she'll be the one stopping him from seeing the kids? Yeah, I could almost see her doing that. Why can I see her doing that? Well, because he's opted out of his overtime pay, and she can't do anything about it. She's not getting that extra money because she don't care if he lives on the street. She don't care if he lives in a cardboard box. No, she don't care about him at all. She only cares about herself. 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 Should I say it again? Herself. That's right. Ain't that what everybody cares about in this today's society? Is themselves number one? Fuck anybody around them? Now, I respect the guy for paying his child support. Yeah, they're his kids. That's right. They're his kids, too. She seemed to forget that in this news report, okay? That's right. And he's paying the child support because he should. Okay? They're his children. But at the same token, should she have the right to take every last penny from him? No, she shouldn't. You know, if these two would have known what the fuck they were doing to begin with when they had these kids, they wouldn't be divorced and there wouldn't be no child support because they'd still be together. The reason they're not together is because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing to begin with. That's how most of these people are in today's society, ain't that right? But this gal's done one thing. She's proven it's all about herself, money. Because she has a hoe. He owes her. He owes her. He owes her. No, he don't owe her shit. He's paying the child support on his children too, not just hers. And she don't have a right to steal every last penny he's making. But she thinks she does because she has a hole in boobs. Isn't that right? Check out the news report. Leave your comments and opinions. Next video, you have a good one.
Hard to imagine any parent not wanting to provide for their children. We hear all the time about problems collecting child support. Tonight, a situation we hadn't heard before. It involves a man choosing not to be paid overtime in what his ex calls an effort to shortchange the children. Channel 4's Nancy Amons is live with the story. Growing children have many expenses: baseball uniforms, school supplies. Jenny LeBlanc is supposed to get a percentage of her ex-husband's pay for child support. Right now, he's working extra hours, but his 3 kids aren't seeing a dime of it.
He's turning his overtime into comp time.
Her ex-husband, Gregory Elmore, works for the Metro Water Department. According to the judge's order, Elmore is supposed to pay 13% of his overtime pay to his children. But Elmore has chosen to get time off instead of extra pay.
He said he would turn his overtime into comp time so that he didn't have to pay paid in the child support.
It might surprise you, but Metro government says the ex-husband isn't doing anything wrong according to their policies. Under civil service rules, employees get to choose whether they want comp time or overtime. Jenny turned to the district attorney's office. They're in charge of collecting child support. But an assistant DA told her pretty much the same thing. If her ex wants to take comp time instead of overtime, we do not know of a way to prevent him from doing so. There's not that much money at stake. Metro records show Elmore earned about $6,500 in overtime last year. But to Jenny, it's the principle.
My kids are my world. My life revolves around my kids. I just wish for all fathers that they could say that.
In Mount Juliet, Nancy Amons, Channel 4 News.
Now, we asked Mr. Elmore for his perspective on this, but he has not returned our phone calls.